House of the Dragon, episode Smallfolk, and I just know for 100% fact that Alicent would be super jelly of this kiss. But as the title of the episode tells us, we are getting a look into what the Smallfolk are feeling. Because the people of King's Landing are tired, they are desperate, and they are hungry. And both the Greens and the Black Councils are getting desperate. Because we can call it what it is. This is a Hail Mary attempt. With Queen Rhaenyra looking for anyone with a drop of dragon blood, she summons the small council, and first in the room is Corlys Velaryon. The newly appointed Hand of the Queen is ready to go. Rhaenyra informs the council that they are looking for everyone with a drop of dragon's blood, and they believe Sir Darkland of the Kingsguard has at least one ancestor with that Valyrian dragon riding blood. Now people are looking around like, are you really gonna have this man try to tame a dragon? And I can't disagree with Lord Bartimus Celtigar in that decision. It seems wild. It seems crazy. This man has never had a dragon rider that we know of in his family. I don't care about that one relative. One relative. But Sir Darkland tries and Sir Darkland burns. Now it was cool seeing all the dragon tamers go around and say their little dragon hymn, trying to get the dragon Seasmoke to calm down. But alas, Seasmoke wasn't having it. He burned the night, and unfortunately also a dragon tamer as well. Our boy was off to the races. And Rhaenyra keeps having to remind everyone who she is. Because Lord Celtigar got a little too loose with his tongue talking to her. So she slapped the dog pissy out of him in front of some castle workers, so you know everyone know it happened. They even tell his mom, kudos, you deserve to do it. That man was getting a little too loose out there in the council meeting. When he started talking about the war, moving armies, and potentially getting Daemon to get the army ready for them to fight, she kind of lose it on the buddy. Mysaria come up talking about another plan she got, and my man leave because he like, bro, are you excluding me from something else again? Rhaenyra, I know you are concerned about having your son deal with any of this war effort, but you need him. He's your heir. He has to be ready. Because you're sitting around here upset you didn't learn more about all this war and all its finer points. This is what this man has to learn for when he rules and if anything was to ever happen to you. But Mysaria comes with good news. She has her ladies of the evening spreading misinformation to the small folk of King's Landing, getting them all riled up to the notion that the high lords and ladies are up in the Red Keep just throwing feast every night, whoring around, while they sit in the slums starving slowly. The fact that Rhaenyra's side was able to get boats of food onto the shores of King's Landing, showing the people that they have the goods to feed them, and help usher in a riot that had the Queen Dowager shooketh. Now, unfortunately, our girl, sweet girl, Helena had to be there for that. But there was a member of the Kingsguard that Aegon had appointed that did seem like he was getting beat to death. It looks like Rhaenyra has somebody she can confide in, because she's constantly losing people in the war effort. Rhaenys is gone, Baela's probably out scouting, and Rhaenyra's up at the Vale. These two tell their tragic story, with Mysaria's being way more tragic, and the Queen is happy to have her to talk to. Even's able to express that she always wished, she had the power of a man, and that's what attracted her to Daemon. I guess they realized they was Eskimo sisters, and they shared a little kisses. Is this just Mysaria trying to play the Game of Thrones? Is she truly attracted to this woman, or is it just a means to an end to get more benefits for the people she cares about in King's Landing? But they have to postpone their little makeout session when they hear that someone's riding a dragon above Spicetown, which is a city on Driftmark. And while we're talking about it, Corlys is trying to go over to Alan, who he has not claimed to be his son. He like, you know what? I want you taking a higher position in my military. But he wants to know, are you asking me to take this high position, or are you commanding me as my liege lord? Because if you're asking me, that's almost like you're taking a fatherly role with me. But Corlys still couldn't say it. He still couldn't say it. But Adam looked like he ready. You can't see it in this picture, but we see these two talking. We see our boy Alan got white peach fuzz on his head like he is of Valyrian descent. His brother over here, Adam, tell him, bro, this is a high honor, man. Take it. Tell him the man ain't never gonna claim this, but you can at least take that position because you his favorite. I know Adam happy for his brother. He like, you going up in this world, you making moves, you can really do something with yourself. But all that kind of changes a little bit, because it seemed like Seasmoke finally chose someone to be his next rider. The level of excitement I have for these two is outstanding. My man's just around there trying to get some clams from the ocean, and next thing he knows, Seasmoke flying above him, Seasmoke chasing this man through the woods and for landing in front of him. As we remember, they tried to force someone on Seasmoke, and my man said, no, I am a noble dragon, and I can find someone worthy to ride me. He may not be of known Valyrian dragon rider ancestry, but hey, he got claimed by a dragon, so that's even a little bit more impressive. Team Green is her team. Oh, that kind of rhymes. But this man, Daemon, is in charge, and he is a no-nonsense ruler. They get a message from Jason Lannister and his mighty host from the west as they approach Golden Tooth, stating that they will not advance on Harrenhal unless they have a dragon in the sky and they need it to be Vhagar. You know what? I can understand why he would be so angry. It's like, bro, I'm Prince Regent. You do not demand for me to come save your behind. You will march on Harrenhal. The council tries to give him some advice. He ignores it, and he tells them that he wants to make a deal with the Triarchy. If we remember them from season 1, they are an assemblage of 3 of the free cities over in Essos, and are the ones that gave the Crab Feeder all his power and the person that Daemon and Corlys had to defeat. The guy's like, they probably have a bone to pick with Corlys and would want to root out all his ships. A smart plan, but just a little hasty. You would have so many ships from people that hated you a second ago now wanted to be on your side. I know he wants to root out that whole blockade going on right now. Not have to wait for the Lannister or the Red Wine fleet because they are weeks, if not months away. But to involve the Triarchy, sometimes the enemy of your enemy is just your enemy. My man flat out dismisses Alicent from the small council, looking at her and saying, there's really not a role for you. You just sitting in here. She touched her son's face and he hesitates for a second, looks at her, and it's like, bro, if only you would have did that back in the day. Because she has a great conversation with her brother Gwaine Hightower right before he's about to leave to try to retake Harrenhal. Because he spent most of his life being raised in Old Town. They were separate for most of it. Since she hasn't seen her son in years because he's also being raised in Old Town, he asked him, how is he? And how are you? And I enjoy this moment of him just being able to tell her like, hey, your son's doing fine. He's smart, he's clever, and he's kind. She has to reflect and say, maybe he's being raised different over there. Maybe I'm the reason my sons turned out the way they are. He tries to, comfort her and say, hey, maybe it's just a red keep. It can do that to people. But you know what? Alicent, it may have been you a little bit, just a little bit. This man, Larys Strong, realizes he cannot manipulate Aemon One-Eye like that. Aemon makes it clear, like, bro, your services really aren't needed like that anymore, and I'm calling for Otto Hightower to be brought back here to the capital. So Larys, clawing for power, goes and finds Aegon bedridden and gets him off that strong painkillers, if not just for a second, because Aegon is hurting. But those painkillers only cloud his mind, and he needs them to hear what he's about to say. And that's that Aemon is a threat and he will come get you. Now, is that true? Yes. Is Larys trying to get himself intertwined with Aegon so he becomes indispensable? Yeah. And it works pretty easy. Because this man Aemon came in earlier and nonchalantly threatened his brother and asked him, do you remember what happened in that battle? And my man said nothing. I don't remember a gosh darn thing. He gotta pretend he don't remember who said Dracarys. And then we got Daemon Targaryen over at Harrenhal still trying to emotionally come to terms with the decisions he has made in his life. But while in one of those weirwood or dragon dreams, he sees his brother Viserys. And after having multiple dreams throughout the episode, he is finally able to be there for his brother in his time of need at the death of his first wife. Because Daemon dropped the ball with that. He was out partying with the boys when he should have been with his brother. And the good thing is he was able to emotionally and mentally admit that to himself. Now, did Daemon almost slice open Sir Simon Strong's mouth because he thought he may be colluding with the Greens? Yes. But after speaking with Alice Rivers, he came to her senses, and this lady told this man to do nothing because he was going to fly off the river run and do Lord knows what. But we learn later in the episode that the old Lord Tully, who was dying for this whole episode, for this whole season, finally passed away, even though Alice Rivers had went all the way there to try to save him. Coincidence, people? But now that young man that we saw earlier in the season is able to make decisions for the Riverlands. I think we may have to see Hoodie Daemon one more time. But hey y'all, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. Please, if you got it in you, leave a like, leave a comment on who your favorite character for this episode was. Make sure to follow me at all my social medias in my link tree listed in my profile. Thank you. And remember, dragons are our friends.